Hey, I'm Robert Drysdale, or Drysdale Jiu-Jitsu, Las Vegas. This is Chris Greenman.
Don't go to tap out, don't go to UFC gym.
What I'm going to do now is, I'm not going to show you guys the setup for the Kumora. I'm going to be showing you guys how to finish the Kumora. So a few details, a few things we got to keep in mind when I'm going to finish my opponent. Let's say Kumora from side control, but the same principles apply in the Kumora, right? First thing, I'm locking his wrist, not his forearm. Almost holding his hand a little bit, not so much up here. Like maybe these two fingers around his wrist, like if it were a watch. That's my grip right there. Okay. I'm gonna keep my elbow on his belly, and I try to keep a 90-degree angle on his arm right there. I don't want my arm on the mat. You see how his arm is not at a 90-degree angle? It's almost straight. That's his way out. If Chris starts rotating his arm to the outside, he's out of it. Especially if he's stronger than me. If you're a lot heavier than your opponent, you might be able to lock it here. Your weight or heavier, it's very hard to control him here. So I'm gonna bring this arm up and lock my elbow on his belly. Now, when I lock my Kumora, this is the most common mistake, and this I'm talking about a lot of black belts out there don't know how to do a Kumora. This is what they're gonna do. You're gonna throw the second arm behind the shoulder, and this right here can finish him. It's not, maybe not wrong, but it's not as tight as it could be. Notice that his shoulder's on the inside. He's a lot stronger here. If you want to straighten out his arm, he's got more power here. I'm too far back. That's the problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lean forward just a bit. I'm gonna try to isolate the arm from the rest of the body. It's the most important thing when you're attacking someone's arms, that you isolate the arm from the rest of the body. The closer his arms are to his core, the stronger he is. So if you had to carry weight here, you could probably carry a lot of weight. Try to carry a lot of weight out here. It's a lot different. It's the same principle here. So what I'm trying to do is isolate his arm from the rest of his body. So I'm going to move myself forward. And I'm going to, instead of locking over his shoulder, I'm going to be locking over his elbow. Chris will probably tell you it's a lot tighter. Just by positioning myself forward. So instead of being out here, I'm moving myself forward, and this is where I lock it. My elbow through his belly. You can grip like this if you want. And then if you're comfortable, you can always switch your thumb over if you prefer. I like this for controlling, but when I'm ready to apply the pressure to finish, I always switch to this right here. That's what I know. I'll start out here, and then I'll switch to this when I'm ready to finish. Okay? Keep that angle. The most important thing is that I maintain that 90-degree angle. He's always going to be trying to get his arm straight. That's what he wants. I have to lock. It's closer the better, and with this arm really close to his body. Another common mistake people make, and once again, a lot of black belts out there will make this mistake. The hand that they're controlling the wrist, they think about pushing the wrist down. So once they get the Kumora, this is how they think they're going to finish it, pushing with this hand. And that's not it. Every time I push with this hand, what happens is his arm goes straight. I'm helping. Whenever I push this way, he straightens his arm, he's out of it. The arm that's going to be finishing is this one right here. It's the arm that goes behind the elbow. Now, over the shoulder, right here. That's where my forearm should be. This hand right here is just locking the angle. So with the hand that you're controlling the wrist, make sure you lock that angle. Don't let him straighten his arm. With the second hand, I'm going to be finishing. Get that angle right there. Different ways of setting up this submission. I can just step over his head. That's one way of doing it. Notice that my right hand, which is maintaining the angle, is my left arm is going to finish. That's my submission there. The whole time I kept his arm on a 90-degree angle, and that's what I want for my submission. If his arm's straight, he's not likely to tap. Here, once again, over his elbow, not over his shoulder. Big difference. It's a lot tighter. Step over. My right hand maintains the angle. Left arm's finishing.
That one sucked too, actually.